Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Going to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a television series face-off versus video comparing two of my favorite series on television. Probably my two favorite TV series of all time. And that is, of course, the infamous original Breaking Bad AMC television series and the Walking Dead original AMC television series. Alright, so The Walking Dead versus Breaking Bad. Now this is a video that I have done before, over a year ago, and comparing both and talking about which show I think is better. But a lot has changed since then. We've gotten an additional season of The Walking Dead with 3 seasons now. And of course with Breaking Bad we've got most of which another season again, even though the final season was kind of split in half. But we're just coming up to the ending of Breaking Bad now, the final hurrah, 2 more episodes left, and then it will be over, finished, done. Amazing show. Now I will say right off the top, before we get into the details and comparing the two and which one I think personally is better, I do want to say that with regards to this discussion, it seems to me, based on what I've read from people in the comments, people are heavily influenced by what is currently being aired. For example, since this video is being done and going to be public, aired publicly YouTube and through YouTube, and Breaking Bad is currently in its final season, currently ending, a lot of people are going to be, their opinion is going to be skewed because Breaking Bad is currently on and is airing each week and is new, whereas The Walking Dead is not. I need to say that because I see it constantly. I see it all the time when I'm reviewing Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead or Breaking Bad or whatever show it would be, and there's a really great episode. People instantly say that it's better. It's way better show. This show's better than that show, guaranteed. But then that same person, maybe 6 months later, when the other show's on, may say the opposite. Happens all the time. So I want to get that out of the way right away. That I'm going to try to remove any kind of bias just because Breaking Bad is on right now in its final season. From the discussion will behave in such a manner that neither one is airing at this current time, so as not to be skewed one way or another. Now, first of all, we should probably say that The Walking Dead overall does get more ratings and does get more views than Breaking Bad does. Even in the final season of Breaking Bad, season 5, I think it's not quite at the level of The Walking Dead season 2. I think that its highest ratings right now for Breaking Bad, it's the highest it's ever had, are not close. I think it's about 6-7 million, something like that, per episode right now, whereas The Walking Dead does a lot more than that. They usually do, I think, around 12 million for some of their finales and stuff like that. But I imagine the finale for Breaking Bad will do a lot too. So we should mention right off the bat that The Walking Dead does do more ratings, has more merchandise dedicated to the show, and is bigger. Now, part of that could be because it has the backing of the comic book series, which was out a long time before. So you'll have the spillover of all those fans who are watching the Walking Dead television series. Breaking Bad doesn't have that. It's a completely original series, nothing before it, nothing after it, nothing based on it, no spin-offs of it. It's completely original and not like with The Walking Dead, which is based off the comic book series. So that being said, in terms of the ratings right there, you got to give The Walking Dead a point because if more people are interested in watching it, more people are watching it each week, talking about it, that right there means that it is more accessible for people. It's something where the average person will probably enjoy it and start watching it each week more than they would something like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is kind of niche because you do have it's a very complex story of Walt and his character evolution, but you do have that bad element where you have the crystal meth thing going. And a lot of people, they tend to not want to watch something like that because a lot of people, most people hate people that are into drugs and dealing in all these kinds of things, which is a good portion of the population. right? In the real world anyway. So that has an effect on it. And there's something interesting about a zombie apocalypse that is supernatural and people really are drawn to because it's got, all those supernatural elements and is a lot of fun in that way. Whereas with Breaking Bad, there's really no supernatural elements to it. It's really just how smart Walt is and the decisions that he makes and things that happen to him with as a result of the cancer and him kind of losing his mind a little bit. So, that should be taken into consideration too. Now, in terms of, episode by episode, which do I personally enjoy more, it's kind of a toss-up for me. Each season, I really look forward to The Walking Dead because I was a fan of the comic book series first before checking out the television series. But with Breaking Bad, when people suggested it to me, and as soon as I started watching it, I couldn't stop. It was like I was ill or something. I had to watch. Even if I only slept like 4 hours and I had to work the next day, I would be up late watching every episode back to back to back just because it's so addictive and it's so much fun and it's so psychological. It's so interesting to see the dynamics of what's happening, what's going to happen next, the characters, what they do, how Walt is going to outsmart his opponent next, what Jesse's going to do. He's a loose cannon, so who knows, right? Skyler and the whole bit, Gus Fring, Mike. All these great characters and what they do episode by episode. So, both shows I think are extremely fun. Which one I like better? It's kind of a draw for me. I like them both very much. It's hard because the recent episodes of Breaking Bad have been so good. Ozymandias, like I've said before in my review, it is the single best episode of a television series I've ever seen. That includes The Walking Dead. Any other too. It's the best. There's nothing else I've seen that is that good all the way through, that dramatic, that exciting. It's amazing. That said, though, on a weekly basis from The Walking Dead back to back to back, I tend to enjoy those episodes more than I do on average with Breaking Bad, I would have to say, probably. So it's sort of like a comparison of short-term quality versus quantity with sort of like the as much as I like them being spread out week to week versus Breaking Bad when things hit the fan, it's like some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen, period. So I like both shows a lot. Breaking Bad finishing up right now, you can't beat it. But I think overall, I do think overall I'm more interested and more excited for The Walking Dead. I do more videos on it. I have more viewers that are interested in it. So in my personal opinion, I have to go with The Walking Dead. So both you have the ratings and more publicly accessible The Walking Dead, and my opinion, which series, if I have to pick one, it's really hard to do, but I'd have to go with The Walking Dead. Why is that? Well, The Walking Dead has more action in it, and I do like action a lot. It's got a lot of change as well, just like Breaking Bad does, but you have more characters. More characters will die off, more things will happen with them, and you'll get to see more characters change, whereas with Breaking Bad, it's more concentrated on a smaller cast of characters and what happens with them. The Walking Dead, you have a much larger cast, you have more characters coming on all the time, and things happening to them, which I tend to kind of like better. So it's kind of like a cumulative quantity versus a smaller amount, more condensed quality on Breaking Bad. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Aside from that, in terms of the writing, I don't know if you can beat the writing of Breaking Bad. I don't know, man. It is pretty brilliant. It really is. For anyone who's watched it all the way through, the twists and turns and things that happen, I think I'd have to go with the writing as being better in Breaking Bad than in The Walking Dead. The characters, like I said, with The Walking Dead, is so many more, and that's why I go with it. But it's, again, quality versus quantity. And the quality of characters in Breaking Bad and how well we know them. Some of them feels like we know them like like the back of our hand. We know everything about them, which is a very cool thing as well, which you can't really say with all the characters in The Walking Dead. Many of them are not that fleshed out, whereas in Breaking Bad they really are. Like with Walt, for example, I really feel like personally, when you finish watching this show, you know everything about Walt. You know his ins and outs, every decision along the way that he's made, leading from the beginning to the end. You know everything. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough to compare the two, but if I have to go with one, I would go with The Walking Dead, but it's just narrowly ahead for me as being a show I think is a better show personally. But that's not to take anything away from how amazing Breaking Bad is, because it really is amazing, and especially this last season when The Walking Dead ends. I don't know if Rick's downfall will be as good or as well done and as interesting and as thrilling and everything as Walt's downfall. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. So I guess personally, my opinion, I think The Walking Dead is the better show out of the two, and it would win this versus matchup, so to speak. But it's just by a nut. Like it's just barely, ahead. And also in the future, if the show quality decreases, my opinion may change. But based on what we've seen so far from both, and what I expect to see from The Walking Dead in the future, The Walking Dead wins this versus matchup for me, even though just by a smidge. Let me know what you guys think, which show you like better, this versus matchup, which one is better, what characters do you like more, which one do you think has better writing, which one do you think has better storytelling, which one do you think has better, action and more better character development, better emotion, and overall, which show do you think is the better show? For me, it's damn close to a draw, but The Walking Dead just barely takes this one. However, if Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, The Walking Dead aren't very good, then I think that could shift things back in the long run when you look back on both shows and you say, which one was better for its time. It's hard to beat Breaking Bad Season 5, man. I will say, in addition, though, that I don't think any of the seasons of The Walking Dead, any of the parts of them or anything of the sort, are as interesting as the final season of Breaking Bad has been. The final 8 episodes, I don't think any episodes of The Walking Dead are as good as the final 8. Even though we haven't seen the last 2 yet, I can already say that for Breaking Bad. Anyway, that's a pretty thorough video. Got all my thoughts out there. Hope you guys, enjoy the topic, and please let me know what you think. If you had to choose between The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, which show do you think is better and why? Feel free to do a video response if you'd like, or just leave a comment, just letting us know which one you think is better and why. And one other thing too with the comments, guys, please try to be respectful of each other. You can get in arguments and stuff like that. That's fine, but keep it respectful. Try not to bash each other personally. Just because somebody likes one show better than the other. It's a subjective question, okay? I mean, as objective as you want to be, however much you want to critique or whatever the case may be, in the end, it's a subjective question. Which one do you like better? Which one do you think is better? Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.